Hello and welcome. We're going to read chapter 10. This is the final chapter of Checklist for a Perfect Christmas, Judith Blahnik. Bantam Doubleday Dell Publishing Group Incorporated, 1540 Broadway, New York, New York, 10036, 1996. Chapter 10, The Circle of Christmas Nights. Christmas Eve to Christmas night is often called the Circle of Christmas Nights. It is a mysterious time, an extraordinary 24 hours that hover apart from ordinary time like a luminescent sphere. It draws us in, lifts us from the anxiety of the past, and allows us to linger for a while before we head into the long stretch of winter yet to come. Once inside the Circle of Christmas Nights, we experience what I call the mystery of Christmas. It has an almost tangible character. If you've ever journeyed out onto Christmas Eve, maybe to run an errand or even to catch a plane, or if you've taken a walk on Christmas Day or sat looking at the Christmas night sky, you may have felt it. There is a calm in the streets, a quiet focus in others, an absence of apprehension, a general ease and readiness for laughter. I don't believe this quality descends upon us just because the Christmas rush is over. I believe that for a short while, the world around us is truly transformed because hundreds of thousands of people have taken time out to live life differently for one day, to mark the passage of Christmas with shared acts of love, joy, faith, and hope. These acts are the traditions that spring up and thrive year after year in lives of all those who celebrate Christmas. Reach into memory and find which family customs and tradition transformed the Circle of Christmas Nights into a special time at your house. On Christmas Eve, perhaps you went caroling in the neighborhood after supper or made cookies for Santa. On Christmas Day, your favorite uncle took charge of the annual front yard snowman contest. When there was no snow, it was a touch football or basketball game. At Christmas dinner, your mother placed a light candle on the windowsill to welcome any stranger who would, she believed, represent Christ. Grace before the meal was said by the oldest. The wishbone went to the youngest. Afterward, your dad started a game of charades, the only time you played all year. Traditions, those games, those stories, songs, prayers, and activities that are repeated each year within the Circle of Christmas Nights, helps us to experience and share with others the wonderful emotional gifts of Christmas. Anticipation, excitement, wonder, joy, comfort, and peace. They help transform an ordinary get-together into a magical, even exuberant event. What your traditions are doesn't matter. Merely having one or two is sufficient. As long as they are simple and have a positive effect on everyone, they will live long. Traditions to be can spring into life quite spontaneously and naturally. The impulse to sing Silent Night together around the dinner table, instead of saying grace, could become a well-held tradition repeated each Christmas Eve. After dinner on Christmas night, the impulse to turn out all the lights except for the Christmas tree lights and listen to Dylan Thomas's recording of A Child's Christmas in Wales also could become a family tradition. A desire to take a long walk or bike or car ride after breakfast Christmas morning could become another. On Christmas Eve, my friends, the Folans, go to Mass with their large extended family. Afterward, Tom Folan prepares his now celebrated grilled Cornish game hens. At Nancy Creel's house in Connecticut, her sons get to open one present, and then just before sleep, everybody tells stories or shares memories of Christmases past. At the McTiermans in Brooklyn, stockings filled with presents are hung on the bedposts of their now grown sons, who just like always will wake up earlier than everyone, open their gifts, and rouse their parents with laughter and noise. In California, my cousin Mary Alice Jan and her family drive to the in-laws on Christmas Eve with the car, full of kids, gifts, and food, ready to spend the night. At Sharon Kopensky's house in Wisconsin, all her grown children have arrived back home and everybody pitches in to make an elegant sit-down meal. At each place set in is a candle that appears only on this night, at this meal. Each person lights the candle and makes a wish. In the morning, they will take their time opening their presents. The circle of Christmas nights is rich with possibilities for out of the ordinary acts that could become traditions for you and your loved ones. They needn't be weighty, lengthy, or expensive acts. Something as simple as lighting a candle or singing a song together on Christmas Eve can be very meaningful. Traditions need and continue when they're no longer appropriate. When the kids outgrow baking cookies, for Santa example, when a tradition doesn't allow everybody to experience the best emotions of Christmas, it's time to let it go and start another. Here are a few suggestions to help you start or to add to your traditions within the circle of Christmas nights. Choose one or two special things to do together. Night, morning, and night. Christmas Eve. To make sure you can enjoy the circle of Christmas nights, be sure to have packages wrapped and large tasks done so that Christmas Eve can be yours to enjoy. Have a dinner on Christmas Eve that is simple, pleases your family, and has a special character. If you're planning to have a big Christmas Day feast and you don't want to spend time in the kitchen, order pizza or takeout fried chicken for Christmas Eve. If you rarely go out, then go for dinner. It doesn't matter if this dinner is elaborate or very simple, but let it be ample and full of comfort food: shepherd's pie, chicken pot pie, pot roast, mashed potatoes, Irish stew, roast chicken, stuffing are all favorites. Attend Christmas Eve Mass or a carol sing service. Bring out your Christmas photo albums and share stories from Christmases past. Bake some refrigerator cookies to welcome Santa. Watch a video together. It's a Wonderful Life with Jimmy Stewart is a terrific experience for anyone over 10 years old. Everyone will like them up at Christmas Carol. Don't be afraid to create a little drama. Turn down the living room lights and read "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" by candlelight. Or read the story of the birth of Christ from St. Luke's Gospel in the New Testament. Let your small children place their favorite stuffed animals under the tree or near the chimney or window as a welcoming party for Santa. After everyone has gone to bed, hang Christmas stockings on bedroom doorknobs or bedposts. When the kids wake up and open the stockings, their laughter and conversation will be your alarm to get up and turn on the tree lights. Also, after everyone has gone to bed, arrange surprise presents under the tree. Create even more excitement for the morning by hanging white, store-bought paper mache birds on bright ribbons from the ceiling circling the tree. Set up an electric train under or near the tree. Set up the nativity scene. With an audio timer, you can set a CD player or a telephone or other device to play "O Come All Ye Faithful" at the time you want everyone to wake up on Christmas morning. Reminder: remove prepared foods from the freezer to serve for breakfast. Hello, Rick, and hello, Country Boy. Christmas morning. Take a before and after photo of everyone around the tree. Play Christmas music all morning long. Take all morning to open presents, each person opening theirs while the others watch. Let the youngest or the oldest play Santa and hand out gifts, or open all at once with lots of fervor and excitement. Save one gift each to be opened on Christmas night. Follow presents with what might become a traditional breakfast. At the Creel House, it's waffles, strawberries, and cream. At the Folans, it's a hearty breakfast, casserole of eggs and bacon. At the Kopinskis, it's juice and coffee, and homemade rolls and coffee cake while opening presents. Christmas Day. Christmas Day could be anything can happen time. Young ones might involve themselves with toys and puzzles. Older ones might take a walk, see a movie, go for a bike ride, take a nap. However, be sure to set a time for everyone to get together, again, perhaps 1 hour before the meal, to help with preparations and share experiences of the day. In the Creel House, they start a jigsaw puzzle, leaving it all day and into the next week until it's finished. Call relatives and old friends. Christmas night. Start a tradition of inviting someone who would otherwise spend Christmas alone to have dinner with you. Open the presents saved from the morning. After dessert or just before bed, gather in the living room, and with everyone lying down or sitting comfortably, play the Dylan Thomas recording of A Child's Christmas in Wales. The poem takes us into a boy's experience of Christmas Day and night, and finally his last thoughts before sleep. Acknowledgements. Thank you to the dozens of people who contribute to Christmas experiences, traditions, time-saving tips, organizational secrets, and favorite recipes. Most special thank yous go to those contributors whose names appear often in these pages. To my friends in Santa Barbara, California, Ginny and Tom Folan and their sons, Michael and Kevin, thanks for the charming handmade Christmas cards and delicious homemade treats. With each year have kept me grounded in the real joy of the holiday. Thanks to Sharon Kapinski in Madison, Wisconsin, who entertains enthusiastically during the holidays and whose 3 grown children return each year for a Christmas homecoming. Her sharing of family traditions was the inspiration for the last chapter. To my cousin Mary Alice Jan, who lives in Visalia, California with her husband Jim and their sons Jeffrey and Christopher, who loves Christmas because of the opportunity it affords her to hop in the car and connect with family in different parts of the state. Thanks for the many travel tips. Thanks to Nancy Creel in New Haven, Connecticut, who's a social worker and recently divorced mother of 2 sons, Jason and David, for reminding me that any celebration of Christmas has to be rooted in treasured memories and traditions. To my dear Philip Scholes and George Mokowicz, who every year expertly make a warm and sumptuous Christmas dinner for friends and loved ones. Thanks for the recipes and organizational tips. Thanks to my neighbor Barbara McTiernan in Brooklyn, New York, whose busy life as a mother, wife, neighborhood organizer, and fundraiser includes making preparations for Christmas all year long. Thanks to Sharon Creel for her shared memories and for patiently helping me construct my first draft, and thanks to my editor, Rob Robertson, who expertly smoothed into final shape this checklist for a perfect Christmas. Finally, thanks to my mother, Clara Brown, my brothers John, Jim, and Gordy, and my dad, Gordon Blahnik, for helping shape my own memories of Christmases. Hi, Albert. So thank you for joining me for 10 chapters of A Checklist for a Perfect Christmas, Judith Blahnik, 1996. We'll just read the back of the novel before we close off the live. Entertaining. Christmas can be the most chaotic, time-consuming, and emotionally and financially draining season of the year. But a perfect Christmas doesn't have to be this way. The key is figuring out what kind of Christmas you want and then making adequate preparations. Checklist for a Perfect Christmas will show you how to plan, organize, and manage a joyous Christmas that is tailored to your own personal needs and inclinations. Whether you want to spend Christmas alone, as a couple, with family, or traveling, Checklist for a Perfect Christmas helps you with every step of the planning process. The book provides dozens of checklists to help you organize everything from shopping, cooking, gift wrapping, to buying a Christmas tree, making decorations, and even giving successful parties. So if you want a stress-free and memorable holiday, Checklist for a Perfect Christmas will show you how to get into the Christmas spirit without having the demands of the season run you down. About the author. Judith Blahnik is a freelance writer-editor who has collaborated on many cookbooks, including Ruth and Skitch Henderson's Seasons in the Country, Ruth and Skitch Henderson's Christmas in the Country, and Bread Alone. She is also the co-author of the Minor League Baseball Travel Guide, Mud Hens and Mavericks. She lives in Brooklyn, New York. And this beautiful novel is a division of Bantam Doubleday Dell Publishing Group Incorporated, 1540 Broadway, New York, New York, 10036, 1996. Again, I hope that your holidays go well, full of joy, celebration, and peace. And again, thanks for joining us for all 10 chapters. If you've missed any, go back and see the previous chapters. Thanks, everyone. Bye and peace.